everybody, welcome back. My name is Gemma, and today I'm going to be taking you through your yoga practice with a focus on floating. You've heard me say step or hop to the top of your mat. The hop is a bit of a float. So I'm going to show you how to prep to get to a full airtime float. Okay, so all you'll need today is a block, maybe. So have it handy. If you don't have a block, even a little stack of books, something that you can have your heels up off of the ground in an L sit. So let's start at the top of the mat. We'll just go through a few sun salutations. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lengthen the back. Then plant the hands, step or hop back to a plank and lower down. Inhale and exhale to down dog. Take one more breath. Walk, step, or gently hop up. The first one I'll do is a step. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, stand up tall, reaching up, gaze follows. Exhale, back to mountain pose. Two more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen out the back. Plant the hands, walk, step, or hop back. Lower down. Inhale and exhale, down dog. Take 3 breaths here. Last one. Then look between the hands, walk, step, or gently hop up. Here's the hop. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Lengthen through the body. Exhale, mountain pose. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale to lengthen. Plant the hands, walk, step, or gently hop back and lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths. On this next exhale, look between the hands, walk, step, or gently float up. Lengthen. Fold. Stand up tall, reaching up. And then exhale, back to mountain pose. So I'm gonna face you. Let's clasp the hands and roll the wrists around a little bit. So when you're starting to float, all the weight is on the hands and the wrists. So it's great to warm the muscles and the joints up. And then we'll go the other way, if there is another way. Then you can shake them out. And we'll come down to our hands and knees. So plant the hands down. I always have my index finger facing forward. That rolls the shoulders away from my ears. Grip the mat with the fingertips. My knuckles are actually up because I'm gripping. And then push all the knuckles into your mat. So try not to roll to the wrists, the outsides of the wrist, and then shift forward. So you're keeping your arms as straight as you can. Because when you're starting to float, it's also prep for any kind of handstand that you're gonna do. And when you're doing handstand, we don't want to be here. We want to be stacking, okay? Strong arms. Do one more shift forward. And then come up. Give them a little roll around. If you need, paddle them out. This always kind of feels nice. Looks silly, feels good. Bring the tops of the hands onto the mat, push into the arms, and we'll start to shift back. You may not move, or it may be a really, really small movement. It's all good. All right, roll them around again. So a lot of floating is so much core too, so we'll do a little bit of core work. It's kind of when you're floating, when all the weight is in your hands, you're getting your bum up over your shoulders. The engagement's called, in yoga, it's called Mula Bandha, which is right under the belly button, that you're kind of squeezing it all. So it's kind of like engaging your core. Like if you touch your core and you pull it in, like you're pulling your belly button in and up, that's Mula Bandha right there. So we've stretched out the wrists. So I'll show you a float, and then we can, just to show you where we're gonna go, and then we'll do a little bit of core. So from here, from your down dog, I like to bring my feet together and in a little bit, grip them out with the fingers, bending the knees, look where you wanna go. Keep the arms straight as you hop up. The more you do that, the slower the feet will come down. So I'll show you one more and then we'll get into to the action. Right, so the more we do it, the more it'll slow down. So let's come down. We'll do a little bit of core to begin. So rolling all the way down. Let's think about hollow body, right? So from here, pushing the belly button down, there's that engagement of the core. Hands can be here, you can stay here. You can have the toes up, or you can bend the knees as well, okay? So we'll do a little bit of a hollow body hold for 5 breaths, okay? It might shake. If we start to be here and then this stuff happens, I want you to be here, okay? Knees over the hips, and then you're just starting to push the knees away from the body, okay? If we're in a full hollow body, great. Ready? 5 breaths. Let's come on up. Breathe deep. So I want you to feel the engagement of the core, okay? So there's 1 breath. On your exhale, I want you to squeeze. If it's too much, be here. I still feel it. We're still squeezing. 2 more breaths. Come on. Maybe we're here. 1 more. We got it. And release it. We can relax here. Shavasana, 7 minutes into a practice, golden, right? So do whatever you need. We are gonna do it again, that's why I want you to take this full rest. So we'll do hollow body one more time, okay? So let's come on up. If that was way too much, we can come into boat pose. We can be here, okay? We will be doing boat pose in a second, but you can do this right now. If you're ready for hollow body, 5 breaths again. I know, we're getting the core all fired up, ready for some floating. Come on. The shaking is okay. If it's too much, bring it here, okay? And we got it. Push the belly button down. Trying to strain the neck. Got 1 more. Engage the glutes. And release. Whew. Sweating already, right? Take some deep breaths. Take 1 more. We're gonna go through Vinyasa. I'll show you the option, okay? You can roll up, plant the hands and step back, or you can roll up and hop back. Engage, engage. Right, a little hop. So wherever you're going, let's do it together. So whole Vinyasa, okay? Either step or hop. And then lower down. Inhale. Stretch the core. Exhale, down dog. Let's take 1 more big breath here. Look between the hands, walk, step, or gently hop up. Engage. Right, inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Stand up tall, reaching up. And then exhale, back to mountain pose. Perfect. So let's do another sun salutation to get down to the ground to do boat pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to lengthen. Plant the hands, walk, step, or hop back, engage, and lower down. Inhale. And exhale, down dog. Look between the hands, walk, step, or hop through to a seat, coming right into your boat pose. Up. Yes. So for your boat pose, if this is too much, we can be here or here, playing around. It's got the toes down, playing around to work the strength so that eventually we're here, and then eventually we're here, but not here, okay? So much core, I know. And then release. We're gonna do that one again, okay? Come into your boat pose, wherever you are, we're gonna be there fully. The boat starts to sink, you pull the chest towards the toes, okay? And if it gets too much, hold on. And then release, beautiful. So you can shake out the legs if it's a little bit much in the hip flexors. All right, so let's grab onto the block. So floating is also a lot of it's kind of like a fold, right? So I'm gonna show you an L sit with the block. So hands are here to here. And then eventually the block won't be there, and we'll be lifting your heels, it'll be gorgeous. Right now, it's gonna be gorgeous on the block, okay? So have the heels on the block if you need it, or your books or whatever you've got at home. Hands are planted, right? Just like when we warmed up the wrists, index finger faces forward. Shift forward, arms are straight, push into the hands. It's a bit of a round of the back, okay? So here, we're still holding, push. Don't let the bum come down. If the bum doesn't come up off the ground, eventually it will. Feel the core, and then release. Roll around the wrists. And eventually with the floating, there's so much you can do when you start to float. Eventually with the floating, you can actually push yourself up off the ground, and the bum starts to go up, and then you go into a vinyasa from this position, right? Probably thinking, what? I'm thinking it too. But eventually we could if we practice this enough. So let's do this again. Let's lift up one heel. Ooh, so much more core. Lift up the other heel. Hold, breathe, and then release. We're gonna try it without the block. Yeah. Even if you try it without the block and the heels or the bum doesn't come up, all good, right? I always say the first step of doing a pose is thinking about it, thinking how you could get into that pose. So let's try it. Plant the hands, it's a big shift forward. Not here, here. Shift forward, push, lift the bum. We can see here, maybe the heels come up. Maybe they come up a little tiny bit, right? It might be better for you to point the toes and lift. And then release. Beautiful. All right, let's roll around the wrists. Take a few big breaths into the core. Sweatiest 10 minutes, right, of a yoga class. Do what you need. And let's go into a sun salutation, okay? So again, you can step back or you can begin to float, hop back, okay? Cross the ankles, plant the hands, hop or step back. Lower down. Inhale. And exhale to down dog. Take one more breath. Let's come down onto the knees. So we talked about hopping forward, so let's talk about hopping backwards, okay? So a few different ways that you can do it, depends on your body and what feels best for you. From here, your sun salutation, you will hear me say hop or step or gently hop back. So from here, you're planting the hands. This is where you can step or hop back. Eventually, our feet will just float up and gently release back. It's not there yet. It's a bit of a hop. I hop back into chaturanga. You might hop back into a plank. It depends on your own breath and what you're comfortable with. If you feel like you're hopping back to chaturanga and going, huh, maybe hop back into a plank and take that extra second to go before you release down, okay? So let's try it together. Step to the top of your mat and inhale to lengthen out the back. Plant the hands, step or hop back. So if you step back, if you hop back into chaturanga and you went, huh, let's try hopping back into a plank. Okay, step to the top, lengthen. Fold, plant the hands, hop back to plank. So depending what felt better, as long as the hips didn't sag too much and weird things weren't happening with the shoulders, that might be your option. Okay, so let's go through a full sun salutation, hopping forward and hopping back. Okay, so step to the top of your mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. Here's your first float. Plant the hands, step or hop back to either plank or chaturanga. And then lower down. Inhale. Exhale to down dog. Then look to the top of your mat, walk, step, or float up, bend the knees, look where you're going, a little spring, and go. Lengthen, fold, stand up tall. Beautiful. So you can play around with that in your yoga classes, and your practices online. The other vinyasa, which is kind of fun, turns into a handstand vinyasa. But the start of it, I'll show you. Instead of hopping with both feet, you can hop up with both feet. And then when you're hopping back, you're raising one leg. A bit of a handstand. Up and then back. We can come down. Whew. Let's cool down. So let's roll around the wrists. So you can integrate that into your own practice if you felt comfortable. Always make sure to warm up the wrists though. Let's come down and come into cobra pose or sphinx pose. So sphinx pose, your forearms are on the mat. Grip the mat and pull your chest through. So engage the core a little bit as you stretch it. Engage the core when you're back bending. You don't want to just dump into the spine. You want to have a little bit of muscle there, muscle engagement. And release. And then we'll come into cobra pose. So hands are planted. Roll the shoulders back and pull the chest forward. If you feel like that's not enough, maybe you're coming up. And then gently release. So let's roll over to our backs. Pull the knees in towards your chest. Let's come into a twist. So hands into a T, bring the knees together, let the knees fall towards me. And then you can gaze away from me. Trying to keep that back shoulder on the mat. Bring the gaze through center. Pull your knees through center one at a time and switch sides. Knees fall back, gaze towards me. Eyes can be soft or closed. Nice big belly breaths to relax your core muscles. And then gaze through center. Pull your knees through center one at a time. And let's come into a full stillness in Shavasana. So extend the legs out. Roll the shoulders under your back. Gaze is up. So you can just close your eyes. Just let your fingers curl up naturally. Let the feet splay out. Just feel every part of your body that is on your mat. And then see if you can sink a little deeper. Less holding, more letting go. You may have tried something new today. You may have practiced something you already practice, something you already know. Regardless where you are in floats, you stepped on your mat and you practiced yoga. You should be so grateful that you did that today. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring some movement to your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles. And then come into a full body stretch, bringing the legs together, arms together. Reach and stretch. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale with a sigh through the mouth. Releasing the body. Pulling your knees towards your chest. Give yourself one big squeeze. And then roll over to your right side. Pushing into your left hand to pull your body up to a comfortable seat. You can bring your hands together, closing your eyes, gently tuck your chin. And always remember why you stepped on your mat. Be grateful that you did. Raise your eyes and your hearts to me. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again.